if the treatment that you needed is not being paid for by the insurance company and they're not offering you a fair amount for whatever your injury is. That's another reason to call us.
You might need an attorney if you got punched in the head by somebody. No, that's a case. That's what...
It's not one I've heard of, but those are real. They exist.
Yeah. I think I'm a nice person.
I get super passionate about this subject
Yes.
because I loathe the term ambulance chaser. I think about what we do here on a daily basis and the clients we work with and the emotional cases that we take on. And when I hear somebody call us ambulance chasers, it makes me so angry. I understand why it's out there. There are attorneys that are ambulance chasers, but what is so different and why attorneys in this field are even necessary is because they are making change happen. If you don't hold people accountable on the civil side of things, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. And this is what's so difficult about the legal system is that there are absolutely situations that we work on where we wish that companies and individuals would be held accountable criminally, but the law is just not sufficient in that area, and it doesn't do it. And so that's why civil litigation matters. And when I think about the people and our clients that we work with on a daily basis and how they've been affected, I want to just say, hey, you come step in our shoes. We're not ambulance chasers. So I'm pretty passionate about that.
I think in addition to what Jackie said, which is all 100% true, I think the other thing is a lot of people just fundamentally don't understand how insurance works, which is kind of crazy because we all pay insurance every single day for everything we do. We have car insurance, we have homeowners insurance, we have life insurance, we have a lot of insurance that we're paying for, but because we don't understand what it's meant to do, we assume that it doesn't do what it does. Like, again, if I hit somebody with my car, I have car insurance to pay for that other person's damages. If I've been hit by somebody and their insurance isn't sufficient to help me, I have underinsured motorist coverage that is required by law. It's on my policy. I already have it in place. And I can make a claim with my own insurance to say, hey, that other driver was underinsured. I still have pain and injuries related to my case, and now my insurance will step in. People don't understand that their homeowner's insurance will cover them when somebody's been injured at their house. Say somebody's jumping on your trampoline and they break a leg, or somebody, falls off a ladder helping you put up Christmas lights. Those are all things that you have homeowner's insurance for. And when somebody, like an attorney, is helping somebody make a claim related to that, it's not because you're a bad person or you're horrible or we're out to get you or take everything from you. It is because you have this benefit in place to protect you, and that's what that insurance is for, and we're making a claim under that coverage that you've paid that benefit for. And so I think that's just a big misunderstanding that people have about insurance, is that's what you're paying for. That's the benefit that you've been paying your premiums for each month. And so again, it's kind of that combination of we're here to help, but then there's also insurance on the table all the time. We're not looking to put people in the poorhouse. We're not looking to take everything from you. We're looking to use a benefit that you've already paid for. We want people to know there's insurance. One time I took a personal injury case to trial, and it was teenagers being silly in the parking lot at school. And this one girl was on the back of a kid's Jeep, and he pulled forward and she fell back and had a brain injury related to that. And we ended up not winning that trial because the jury looked at this 17-year-old kid and was like, how are you expecting him to pay $1 million for this girl? And the sad thing was for me is that even the kid and his mom didn't understand it. And so once the trial was all over, we were going out and I got in the elevator, and the kid and his mom kind of surprisingly got in the elevator with me. And they're like, how did you expect us to pay all of this? And I looked at them and I said, that attorney sitting next to you at the table, did you pay for him? And they said, no. I said, did you hire him in any way, shape, or form? No, our insurance company did. I said, exactly. It's your insurance company that would have paid related to this claim. And they said, oh my gosh, we had no idea. And so I think that's one of the craziest things that people who are even, on the other side of the claim don't recognize. If you didn't pay for that attorney next to you, somebody did, and it's your insurance company. And so
it's pretty messed up when you even explain that to them, because that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, so it's getting that insurance information out there. If we're at trial for somebody hurting somebody else, there's insurance on the table. And that's why we're there. And so we're not looking, again, to put people in the poorhouse. We're not looking to take everything from everyone. We're looking to make a claim for a benefit that's already been paid for. And so that's why the message I really want to get out to people is that's what insurance is for.
Well, and what a lot of people don't realize is when jurors go to trial and they're listening to a case, there's a rule in the state of Utah that insurance cannot be talked about at trial. And that's why people don't know if there's insurance. They don't know if the person's going to be the one that has to pay directly or if it's an insurance company, because the whole reason is they don't want jurors to base their decision off of whether they award money, whether there's an insurance company or not. They want it to be based off the injury and the evidence. And so that's why there's a rule that insurance can't be talked about. And so that's why it makes it a little more difficult, because you have somebody who was negligent and did something that they shouldn't have, and somebody was harmed because of that. And they think they're going to be held personally liable. But if you have insurance, that's not true. That's why we pay for it, so that my insurance will step in and cover if I cause some damage.
In that case that I talked about, it was a total failure on the insurance company's part, not educating their own clients about how the process worked. But again, it benefits the insurance company to have people in the dark sometimes about how the claim works. And because of that fear, they promoted that within their clients, and that came across to the jury. And I think that's exactly why in that particular case, we were not successful. Now that happened years ago, and hopefully I've upped my game a little bit and I'm not going to have that kind of situation happen again. But it was really enlightening with respect to the lack of knowledge I think that people have about insurance and how that works. And also I think the fact of like serving on a jury is a scary thing. And so it's hard to kind of grasp some of these other concepts that maybe aren't being talked about and recognizing their application. Like Jackie mentioned, we're not allowed to talk about insurance during a trial, and that was because of a specific rule that was put in place that the insurance industry promoted within the state and got behind, because again, they were fearful that if people knew that there's insurance, they'd just be handing out money everywhere to everyone for everything, which is just not reality. And so that is something that I think we want to get across, that if you're on a jury and it's related to a personal injury case, there's insurance. And so just know that, and know that that's something that's out there, and you don't have to worry about how much. You just need to focus on the evidence before you and make a claim or make an award that you think is correct based on the facts.